Can't get you out of my head. At the dawn of the 21st century, Kylie Minogue implanted a catchy pop smash hit into our brains, which we recall now reading the title of Curtis's latest narrated, scripted, his journalistic account, documentary series. We remember the waves of optimism felt by the population, assuming that in the new millennium everything would be nice and blissful from now on, as imagined in the more optimistic of science fiction visions. Yet now we really cannot get certain forces out of our head. The fears of the ruling technocrats controlling us, their proposed ability to anticipate our every click online, their conviction to mine the past of alleged Arcadias to motivate those in the present. One of the most effective and powerful of Curtis's works, Can't Get You Out of My Head, embarked upon the challenging task of summarizing world events in the balance or imbalance of power since 2016's hypernormalization, events which couldn't be understood in a vacuum and required some dense historical context, resulting in a 6-part, minimum hour-long each, series as opposed to hypernormalization's 2.5-hour odd runtime. Simply because of its proximity to the present, perhaps if you had to view just one of these works, try out this one, although the length is daunting, so I would maybe sooner encourage a view of Bitter Lake or Hypernormalization first, but allow Curtis to dislodge you from your arrogant conspiracy theories, your self-serving convictions, ensuring you believe what you want to believe, not what appears to be the case, but also from a belief that the political does not matter. I like the recent phrase which popped up on the internet: everything is political, but politics is not everything. Your desire to bury your head in the sand and not think about the world, indulging in junk food, video games, and a repetitive though plausibly gratifying sex life, perhaps with some company, that's all well and good, although that is a political statement too. That modern suburban life is fun as long as you get your cheeseburgers, Final Fantasy, and obscene hentai. That's fine. That's a platform, sure. In my own political vision, I would love for a world wherein people don't have to worry about politics. That ought to be alright. And I would love for a world wherein people could act like politics isn't relevant because their needs are addressed. Their fears of material disintegration, home loss, are not founded. They could indulge in their escapism rather than having to worry about hostilely mundane, dehumanizing employment dominating their entire existence. People could live without concern of mass societal shaming, or better yet, even none at all. This is as much a desired outcome for socialism as it is for market capitalism, although one's desire to feel happy by buying things will be taken as seriously as the alcoholic's desire to buy booze or the gambling addict's desire to funnel all of their and their family's money into a poker machine. Share any disagreements here. If you're hesitant because you anticipate an aggressive response, I'm flattered, but seriously, I'm very open to any and all sincere criticisms, though I will stand by my statement that no ethical human, or even confidently correct human, has any real reason to be smug. And so I immediately personally dismiss any who claim morality who act smug, and any who claim to be correct who act smug. If a scientist who attempts to study our universe at the atomic level isn't smug, why should a hackneyed political commentator act smug in any way, shape, or form? They aren't interested in being factual or honest, they are interested in composing a clique of superior value to another, and they co-opted left-wing politics as they adopted Christian morality in previous eras. The rich pseudo-socialists ought to be taken as seriously as the lavish conservatives who claim to be living out Christ's message and teachings. There will only be shame and repulsion directed toward the materially extravagant in the years to follow. Enjoy it while you age, you unhappy, unlikable, irredeemable vermin. Your material excess suggests that deep down you are never truly happy, so you will take some joy in that at least. Given that you have attempted to destroy anyone else's paths to happiness, including those who simply required some degree of material stability and assurance to be happy, not to be the biggest head on the hill, and no one will compose any tears or eulogies at your obituaries, and if there's a hell, even Satan might be stunned at you, intimidated at the prospect that he must conjure a worthy punishment for such unrepentant mortal devils. Truly, said Satan, you plutocrats created a hell of earth that rendered my own dominion quaint. And so fortunately, in malice, Satan subjected these plutocrats to the most sadistic of punishments, following the market principle of competition which these same parasites claim to celebrate. Believe me, Q scum, these guys might admire Satan, but Satan, like those guys, doesn't appreciate threatening his monopoly, the business being that of torture and psychopathic sadism, and so maybe we can all bond over wanting such divine judgment to be inflicted upon such monsters, whether we literally believe it will or not, and you don't even have to hope for instances of mass abuse to have occurred, as they all creepily do. They've committed more than enough crimes without having to resort to the most blood-curdling of wicked behaviours. I say that as the director of Pandemonium, but then I'm sure Richard Donner didn't believe in a satanic conspiracy theory reminiscent of The Omens either. Makes for great tense genre fiction, though, also, I hope. Or not. Maybe I'll move to documentary filmmaking. I'll do a major expose on the demise of Luna Park, and then move on to distilling the nature of the world. Curtis is getting up there, someone will have to take his place, and hopefully it doesn't have to be me, but if I think the successor is not up to scratch, if the successor is some talentless, unimaginative hack like Charlie Brooker, then it'll be another person of those initials taking up the mantle, not because I'm entirely capable of it, but because I don't trust anyone else to do it very well either. Public will arrive in 2025 and will hopefully not be the last of my fictional features. May as well put out some more before I'm 30 and then I'll up the ante the more I approach an older age. Fear of my mortality, all that. Hey, cease listening to this and do what you would love to do in life. Let me help you out, maybe. Try to spend the rest of your year making 2024 the best of your life. And then in 2025, your goal of the year will be to have the best year of your life thus far. You'll realize that happiness more so arises from within and how we respond to circumstances than the alignment of circumstances themselves, and if you want to better align circumstances, repair yourself first from within with what have you got to lose? How much worse can it get? The notion that nihilism is the logical way forward is genuinely bewildering to me. Unless one was genuinely suicidal, something I don't consider logical at all, if one wants to stay on living, optimism only increases the probability of a positive outcome, compared to doing nothing at all. So why not go forth? Okay, I will refrain now.